What is up, everybody? This is Tikwe, also known as Richard, and I'm coming back to you with another English game. I must say, guys, on this new expansion, I don't know if it's because of the Aussie Dongo video, because of the Abbey of Kings that's happening all over the English teams, but English is all over the map. So we're playing on a map called Nagari. So what you'll find with Nagari is you'll have it's quite a weird one. This guy has such a safe mountain on this side. His called name, I guess, is Dirt. Going for some long distance wood chopping, which I do not understand why, because he has English, which means we get an extra 200 or extra 50 wood at the start of the game. So you don't need to do this. This is very wasteful in the beginning of the game. So on our side, we went for 6 villagers on food. First villager over to the mining camp, second one onto the house. You can choose vice versa. You can see it's not a big delay. I just hate when this happens in the beginning. You'll see if you'll finish the mining camp and go onto the house. That's mining time lost on the camp. And then my third villager was a bit out of place. I think that I struggle, and what I don't do in the beginning of the games is, the loading screen in the beginning, I forget to check what the map is. And I don't, you can't see who you play again until you start the game. But yeah, I couldn't, I didn't check. But yeah, so we have quite a mountain in front of us, but not as big as his. But I feel the access that he gains with this side protection, I mean, if he just kind of walled this off, he was going to have a huge protective side on the right here, of his base, basically to the south of his base. We are going for the standard English build order here. I want to go with the council hall. Again, most games in the beginning, I am very comfortable on 5 sheep. 5 sheep is like my I would say groovy happy zone, where I can transition into berries, I can transition into a hunt if that's necessary, or like in this game, where we are going to consider going onto a water map. So I'll show you again keybinds. I'm running on 1 here, town center on 2, villagers, everything just microed onto wood. So what you saw in the beginning of the game, I'll have the 6 villagers on sheep. This would be my rally point in the beginning, right on the gold mine, or right outside the gold, or even on top of the gold. Then those villagers, first villager comes out, goes onto the mining camp or a house, and then the next one comes out and finishes the house. But then you take the villager and you build, and you shift click on the resource, and they would actually build that. I actually thought this guy was going to get a bit closer here, so I garrisoned my units there, but I couldn't pick him off. And now we have the council hall on keybind 7. I'm actually just going to close the resources here after he ages up, so I can just show you guys a bit more of the game. And I want to show you more about this when we go into the mid to late game. I find more of my games are going into mid-late games. More people are knowing what to expect with the English, and especially on maps where the distance is this far, it's very difficult to run those archers over to actually get here in time to cause a bit of pressure. So he's microing well. He's on 8 food, 4 wood, 2 on the gold. I'm pretty much on the same thing. So he pulls the gold villagers on the council hall, and now he pulls the wood villagers. So you need wood for your archers, guys. I know he did that early chopping here, so he has more than enough, as you can see right here. It's on 270. So he has more than enough to get maybe a few archers out if he needs to. Puts down the mill now. I have no mill, but very same macro here, sitting on 5 on the wood line. My town center is producing more villagers on the wood line. I took my gold villagers onto my council hall and 2 food villagers, but I'm still on 6 food. And usually what I try and aim for is getting that 6 and 6. So I was a bit slow, forgot to train a bit here. Now you can see a single archer coming out because my micro was a bit different, and I wasted or used 150 wood, 250 wood, 100 on an outpost and 100 on the dock, 150 on the dock, sorry. So I transferred on this specific map over to the water. I felt just intuitively comfortable with moving over here, and then I immediately decided to take my archers here as well. So I'm going to close the resources just to show you what happens or what to kind of expect with the game when you're going for a playstyle. And I guess that's what I'm trying to get at with this video, is when do you choose to go castle age, when you choose to go mass archers, and that's kind of the difference in what happens in these type of games, where you can understand. Now, if you lose your scout, in my opinion, you always need a scout on the map. That's something I don't necessarily train up again. It's just a bit of food investment, and information is king. So I know the council hall comes up. I can see the villagers. You can see I'm actually using the scout and running around. But now I'm trying not to get too close to the town center, but I can see stables going down one, and I actually see a second stable going down right there. You can see I'm bringing the scout back, so I see double stable, so you're expecting horseman rush. So now on my side of the base, I am very comfortable with bringing these villagers in against horsemen and just bringing them to the town center, picking them up. You're gonna get a lot of archers, and if they want to chase you that far, they're really gonna struggle to you know, get on top of your villagers like that. So I sent all my villagers onto the wood because I want the wood to increase right now. Weird random glitch happening with some of the villagers not farming, but that's okay. The reason I'm doing that is I have a dock out, so technically it works like a town center because it's like a villager, a fishing boat, and I want to get as many fishing boats out as possible because they actually are a really comfortable source of late game food. And in this game I actually found or learned, because I'm someone who's not very comfortable on water, I actually learned how to use it a little bit more effectively. So I'm not sure if you scouted me out on this. You can actually see this whole area is not scouted out. That maybe made a big difference in the game. This front water is not scouted out. You can see he scouted out his water. You can hear those horsemen just spamming out the horsemen here, and now he's in a bit of a resource cap, not getting the right food, trying to expand to other food sources. And remember, in this type of scenario, if you want to go for like a aggressive play like this, take all of these food villagers and move them over to your deer. You have a council hall, pop a few archers down there, maybe these horsemen, which counts kind of like spearmen. They'll counter any archer rushes from their side. And you know, this food production, berries is the slowest. English specifically gain extra. They harvest at an increased rate on the farms, as you can see here. Mill influence, so this little orange zone that sits around the mill here, gives you an extra advantage. When you have the mill down, you get that extra resources. So scout here at the back, just keeping an eye on any expansion happening, trying to see if any trading's happening. But I have more than enough you know, information on the map. You can see he also scouted out quite well, but I need the information so I know what to do. So barracks is out just to protect this. I have a few archers in the outpost, so this is very safe. I can garrison the villagers, I can garrison the spearmen if I need to, and I am protecting my food. That's all I'm trying to do. You can see these boats are bringing up quite a significant amount of food back. I can't remember if it's 45. I think it's 45. We'll just keep an eye on that. You can hear he kind of scouts it out now. I tried picking him off with my archers, couldn't get him. It's 40 food on the boat. So quite a significant amount of food that you get from that. I have my archers actually rallied onto my wood line, and then I am actually rallying my town center onto my gold line, so I can possibly go for an age up. I've decided more of my games I'm going to start focusing on that around the 10-minute mark. I want to be able to go castle age, and I can choose not to if I don't need to, and go for like you can see here, the double broadaxe. I was considering going for the mining upgrade, but I decided not to because I actually needed to check some blacksmith upgrades if I wanted to go and apply a bit of pressure early on. So right now we know he's sitting on the horseman, so you can't really go archers into horsemen. You are going to lose that fight. So my archers are covering this front, and we can actually just quickly try and see. There's his scouts right on the sacred side. So he has no information on this side, but he did go for a raid. So use your resources, and he actually just let's have a look here. I hear the bell. 2 attacks, 3 attacks goes off before you basically respond. That's 3, 4, almost 4 villages he's gonna pick off, and then unfortunately another one comes out of the town center. So that's 5, I think 6 villages that we lose here out of this. So this is worth it. If you get 6 villagers and you still have all of your horsemen, it's worth keeping them, because you already created idle time on the gold mine. You already have picked off 6 villagers, which is equivalent of 300 food. And now you're forcing me to invest a certain type of resource into countering or doing something different. So that's something I want to focus on and kind of, you know, hammer on. If you get a successful raid like this, you know gold is isolated. Do you go for more gold? Do you just expand into your own base? You know, you can see he's trying to pick this fight again, but I've already stabilized the attack. If this was lancers or knights, like with the French or with the Mongols or even the Rus, they have early knights, then it would be a whole different game, because they would be able to decimate an archery team. So I would have to stop production of my food. I would have to take the resources, invest it into a barracks, invest into spearmen, invest into spearmen upgrades, and also the leatherwork upgrades, so I don't take as much damage. That's just to deal with a small raid that happened. So this is a response to what we saw here, because if he comes out with 10 horsemen, you know I am still going to be able to retreat into a safe background of my town center. And you can see I'm not trying to waste resources, because this is my bread and butter on this map. You can see I'm using the dock here to get a high amount of food up. You can see my food's never running out, because even with 15 wood villagers compared to let's quickly see on his side, right? He's sitting on 12 wood villagers, 14 food villagers, and 7 gold villagers. Total economy of 35, and we're sitting on an economy of 39. So not a huge difference. Obviously, he picked off 5 villagers, which is a big plus for him. And also, there's a few villagers now, you know, walling in. A good wall. I like walling at the back of my base. This is kind of a waste in the front. I would much rather go onto a stone cropping and make this stone. If he scouted and looked at his position, this was the only wall that he really needed, and all these forces to the front here, then you know you can defend the front, and the back is isolated with a wall. That would have been a much better defense from his side. So I'm showing you in the mid game now from my perspective again, just to pause and just cover the basis of what I'm thinking right now, so it makes sense. I am uncomfortable firstly with the fact that I'm going on water, because I haven't trained a lot of this playstyle, right? So I'm trying something new. I'm reinvesting a lot of resources of the wood line onto the boats, the fishing boats, but at the same time I have military production, and I'm not forcing any resources to go idle until I have the right information, which is my scout, right? So with my scout, I know his farm booming. You can see right here, we saw it with my scout here at the back. Now we see it with the scout at the front. We see he's turtling up or walling, as we can see right now, and quite hefty on the gold. So this is an indication that he's going fast castle. This is an indication that he is struggling with food or trying to go into that castle age, because the food and the berries are running out. 99% of the time you finish berries, because the berry spawn in his case was actually a lot closer. I think the berries on his side was right here, or it was much closer than what we have right here. So I don't want to invest into these berries, because it's so far, you know. I don't even have a mill on the game. I invested into 3 lumber camps and not a single mill. If I had a mill and the wheelbarrow upgrade, it would have been a bigger difference. But that's why I say, you can see now on my side, I'm 15 villagers onto the gold, and that is because I'm very comfortable defending this. You can see the palings are out. Just if the horsemen are coming in here, there is a line of defense to make sure this gold comes into the bank. And we have the blacksmith now, as you can see, getting those iron mesh upgrades. We already have the ram upgrades, and the reason I got the siege engineering upgrade is, again, scouting out, do I go for ram rush? At this point I'm seeing, okay, oh, it's just mass archers and horsemen. It's fine, let me retreat, let me increase my horsemen numbers, as you can see right here. More horsemen are coming out. We are waiting for this upgrade to get through, so we have a more armor. And when you click on a unit, you can see that plus armor is going to come through right now. There you can see the +1, right? So 3 armor against these archers. We did not check their damage, but we could just scout quickly. He does have a blacksmith, he does have the upgrades on the archers, so these archers are going to do really well in the fights, and the horsemen are going to take less damage, but it's against spearmen, so he does not want to take this fight. I also don't want to take this fight. And again, scouting at the resources, I'm sitting at Castle Age, he's very close to Castle Age, very similar game, very different playstyles. He has his military resources invested into the archers and the horsemen, light gold, heavy food that we saw on the farms, and obviously the wood line that we also saw with the scout, right? So in your situation, right, when you're playing this type of game, you know you can't really lose this, and you need to pull some advantage out. And I guess that's just time in the seat, to learn specific factions and what works. I am pulling 16 villagers here. Let's call it a Hail Mary, because from my perspective, this is what I know. I know he stopped the wall. I did not think about finishing the wall. Even hovering over the enemy base, you can kind of hear what's going on. You hear that landmark going down on his side. So he's also going for the white castle, white tower right there. And from my perspective, I'm on my way with these villagers to place down a white castle, or what do you call it? There we go, a white tower. 16 villagers is going to get this up in no time. I'm not scared of doing that, and I have rams and spearmen and horsemen as reinforcements. Now this is what I do: horsemen 4, spearmen 5, rams 6, villagers 3. They are the closest and most important right now, and I can micro them and move them in the right directions to get them where I need them to be, so they can actually do what they need to do. So I see, oh crap, this whole thing is walled off. I have to cancel my white tower. His is almost complete, you know, with 5 villagers. So I just spam rush this. You can see how quickly it's building, and now I take unnecessary damage. But all I'm trying to do is distract the fact that I have this white tower going off very, very offensively, basically on top of his base, so I can deal with any units or aggression from his side if I couldn't deal just with the horsemen. And I don't have any range or archers, so this white tower is just gonna give me all of the archery ability that I need. So my villagers finished the white tower. I'm right on top of him right now. I have 3 rams. This to him is very scary, because if you want to fight this, you either have to you know, commit your army. As you can see now, the army units are coming out on his side, and I'm going straight for a mangonel, because I know mangonel can deal with these mass archers. So spearmen are right on top of the rams, because that's the priority right now, to protect them. I'm trying to get a few horsemen at the back line, which I don't really get. And you can see how effective this white tower is on just applying that extra range pressure. So now we have to deal with these early men-at-arms, which have really high upgrades, so they're going to deal really well with any archers or any horsemen on my side. So they just siege down these rams, which didn't do any damage. 300 damage on this, 400 damage on this council, 1 hit, so that's a lot of wood lost. So I have a mill now, and you can see as soon as you attack these villagers, they actually attack you, or repair in this type of scenario. But Did lose a few villagers there, and now instead of backing off, I tried getting greedy with another siege shot. Tried to retreat and get the repair done with these villagers. If you have 3 or 4 villagers on top of this mangonel, right? I promise you, just having 2 or 3 villagers inside your military team and then using that to fight, right? It's gonna make the biggest difference. Now, this is also important, right? We know we have food. We are back on gold. I actually have not touched gold for the last give or take 3 minutes because I went idle here. I have 17 villagers idle trying to deal with this. So you have to be prepared to have your keybinds ready or know where to jump to. Like, I always keep my market on 8, and I do a fair bit of market trading. What you will see, keep an eye on this bottom side. You can see I'm selling food, getting some gold up. I do not have a woodline farm going. I have a lumber camp back here, but it's a little bit of long distance, nothing serious. But in his case, he doesn't have the siege engineering, so he can't challenge this. So either he needs to build the right units, or he needs to prioritize getting this done, because this is aggression. This is gonna cause a lot of pressure. This is isolating his gold, and the only other closest gold you can see is all the way to the front here, which is actually crazy. So he has a mangonel out. From my perspective, again, our food supply is very stable. I could have gone for dock upgrades, which I didn't do. Obviously, the more time you play, the more proficient you'll get into where your resources need to be spent, so you can do less market trading, because when you do a market trade, you can see in my case right now, you lose 30 to 60 resources every single time you sell or buy certain materials. You can see my wood, I lose 58 gold just by buying 100 wood, and I lose almost 60 food, actually 62 food, just by selling 100 food, because that's how much I get 38 gold back. So that's how the market works. It's just much better to have the resources and spend it and think ahead of what you need to do. So I have, like I said, it's a whole different strategy, a whole different way of thinking to get this food supply for me. So I decided to spend all of my food, which is quite high right now, 800 per minute, and just use the food to keep the night production coming up. So you can see we're on 5 nights here, and he gets the trebuchet, the counterweight trebuchet, to start sieging my units right here. And all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build a mangonel mass. If I can have 4, maybe 5 mangonels, the perfect number is 6. But 5 mangonels, 4 to 5 mangonels with a few military units, every time they volley, they'll basically take out whatever they attacked. Men-at-arms, spearmen, horsemen, lancers. The siege damage of this is phenomenal, right? So now I'm bringing the villagers forward. Like you can see, they are bound to 3. So I just press 3 and my villagers will go and repair any mangonel. I just hover over them like this, and the first time I see a repair icon, I go for the repair. You'll quickly see me do it here. The villagers are right on top of this. I see this takes damage and the villagers go and repairs it. It's full health again. That's how quick it is, guys. You can see that one took a little bit of damage. Villagers are right here. Tries to siege. Immediately goes for the repair. You can see that repair is insane. I think it's going to be nerfed because that's ridiculous. You have so much pressure. So I've already dealt with all his military front line. Now he has archers trying to pick off trebuchets, right? We just took out a third of his army with the first volley. Second volley, another 2/3 of his army, and this is what he has left. So that's 3,000 resources he just lost with 4 mangonels, guys. This is gonna make or break or win or lose games for you in the future. So just take note of this when you're playing, because it's 2 different playstyles, complete different playstyles, but just a little bit of proper siege against what you know he has, and you can win games. I hope that helps to teach you a little bit about late game playstyles and what like kind of works for me. I'm not a pro player, but I would like to think that I can reach platinum if I'm lucky diamond in the season. It's starting on the 13th, so that's on Wednesday for me. In South Africa's time, probably going to be starting on Thursday because usually the time differences and stuff mess around. As a South African, you kind of miss the hype about it because it only you see videos posted online before you even get to make a video about it. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I also had a Mongol video which I tried different tactics and I lost badly. Just a quick rundown. You can see his resources outscaled mine quite significantly, and I'm the English. You shouldn't be able to outproduce resources on me as the Mongols. But I went for a keep rush and got shut down by a few archers because I forgot that he can actually double produce units out of the Uvu. So I'm still learning to play against him. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and catch you guys